Hello, how you doing today? This is Alex from Auto Key Security Services. Today I am working on a EAM control module from a 2004 Mercedes ML350. Now this is going to be a key job, possibly corrupt data in this module because this car came to me not running. And I see some funny stuff going on with the data. I don't know who worked on it previously. I don't have no history for the car. And this is the EAM control unit. Get into it. It's on the left-hand side of the truck. Left-hand side under the dash, in the the driver footwell area. Now this is the unit. This is the board. This is one of the EAM units that has the DOS unit programmed in, slid into it. Usually these modules will have, let me get this open out of here. Usually this module will have the whole board, and it'll have two Motorola Freescale processors, the HC705 I believe. But either way, this is this unit. This is the one that uses the module that slides into it. Target CPU is right here in this board. It's not going to be anything here. Target CPU. When the module looks like this, that has the sliding DOS that slides into it, the target data is going to be right here. Now let's set this aside. Now I've already started working on it, but then I figured let me make a video on it. So it's a spur of the moment thing. Right here, this is where the target processor was. It has been removed, and the board has been cleaned. I already cleaned the old solder off. Circuit board is nice and clean, ready to. I'm gonna put some better quality solder with lead in it, leaded solder. So it'll be, when you put leaded solder, it's a lot easier to work with because the temperature range is a lot lower than the factory unleaded solder. So I will go prepare the pads, tin them a little bit. That'll be later on in the process. Now here goes the target CPU. It's already soldered onto the adapter board for an Xhorse unit. I've already got the data out of it. I'm just going to do a quick, run through this process. Processor's on there. I already read the data. Now, let's put our attention over here on the laptop. I almost gave y'all the passcode to my computer. Alright. Yeah, where did I put it? Okay, yeah, right here. This is the temporary read. And when you do stuff like this, you want to read it multiple times and make sure the data is correct. Now, one more thing. Let's go back to this unit. A lot of people say they have success with just the USB cord connected to read the data, but I strongly would suggest to have the AC adapter, especially when you're writing the data back, because this unit bypasses the security and it glitches into it, and if the power is just not right, you could end up damaging the data before you even read it. But you hook up the 12-volt supply, hook up the USB, and let the programmer do its thing. Now let's go over here. Let me hook up my Tango unit. Be back in 2.5. Give me 1 second. Okay, now I am going to load Tango. So I'm going to show you what was going on with this key that the car came with. Looks like an original key, but it could be a blade that was cut to look like an original key. But let's read this chip. This is the original chip. I'm going to read it. You see it's listed as a 7930 ID 73, which is kind of weird because this really the chip that we're supposed to use is either a 7935 or 7930 or a I forget which one is the other one, but I'm gonna come over here and with car model, Mercedes-Benz car ML, and we're gonna be doing EAM because it's not the other one. Load the file, desktop, Mercedes right here. This is the bin I got. This is what I found weird about this bin, is why I'm getting the data verified first before I go back to the car. Usually when the data has not been altered in any way, Mercedes likes to do their keys 1, 2, and 3. And what we see right here right away is, and I saw this when I had it hooked up on the scanner before I pulled this out. When I did the initial diagnostic, I saw that key 1 was not used, and that was very weird. And it's not supposed to be like that. That's always supposed to be used, the first key. But either way, all things set aside, the key that it has in it is oh, here go the chips, 7930, 31, or 35. Now I'm gonna explore the key that's in there. It says it's valid. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. This is the new one that I made. I just got a little confused. I programmed this one in already. This chip, programmed it in earlier. But now I want to explore the key that was not working, which is, where did I put it at? It's right here. I'm going to explore this key. It was key number 6. There goes key number 6. Okay, it recognizes it, but it does not work. Now the unit is matched to this. This is synchronized, a matching set with the computer. I already checked that. Everything's fine there. It's just there's a problem with that key. Now when you're looking at the live data, and it tells you how many keys are there, how many have been programmed, and all that. And then it'll actually tell you which key is in the ignition switch. And when in the live data of the scanner, all it showed was, I think it was two lines. That's it. So it never identified the key, even though it was reading the key, because the fault code was this. The fault code was properly coded key, but not programmed to the vehicle. That was the code. Properly coded key, but not programmed to the vehicle. Now this one, this was programmed to key slot 6, but it doesn't work. So, took it all apart. Now I'm in the process. I made the key. Now I'm gonna solder the processor back, and then work on the car. Go try it out on the car. I'll be back in 1 second once the processor is back on the control module to show you guys the processor soldered back on. And then after that, we'll go to the car, try to start it. Well, it's gonna start, but we're gonna go to the car, start it, so you can see it was a successful programming of this ML350. It's a pretty complicated job because you gotta remove the processor from the board. But you know, when it has to be done, it has to be done. Now I'll see you in a second when the processor is soldered back on, and then we will go from there to try to start the vehicle. Thank you. Alright, I'm back here at the ML350. This is the processor soldered back on. I'll be with you momentarily when I'm attempting to start the vehicle. Thank you. So guys, the ML350 is running. Now, kind of feel like an idiot because I did all that soldering and desoldering. Well, I mean, I'm stuck on old school ways. So what I ended up doing is, it didn't want to work, the transponder I generated with Tango. So I pulled out some old hardware I had, which is the FVDI. It's just a knockoff of a British. And then what I did, I generated another ML transponder with a VVDI Superchip, and I went into the dash, you know, right here in FVDI. You go to special functions. I'm not going to do it again because I don't want to. Go right here to 2B. Once you have a ML transponder generated, you just go right here and follow the process of programming to a unused slot. So the way you find out if a slot is used or not, you go here. I had my other scanner that I was using before I did anything, before I pulled this one out. But you go right here to actual values, or on another scanner it'll be live data. And you see right there it says key in ignition number 1, because remember we didn't have a key programmed on number 1 slot. So now it is programmed in, and you see right there transponder keys identified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see how 7 and 8, that means they're not used. There are not any keys that are blocked. For some reason the factory key, or a factory looking key that somebody cut, did not work. But the important thing is, you know, like always, you have to use multiple tools to get to where you want to get to. But the truck is running now. It's running. Now I'm just gonna go cut a key and pop in my XT27 Superchip. I wasted a 7935. I cannot do anything with this no more because it's already screwed up. I might as well just throw it in the trash because I want to use it again for some other reason. So Superchip does work with, once you generate it as an ML transponder, it does work with FVDR for a W163 2004 ML350. Let me double check if it's a 350. I'm gonna walk to the back of the car. Yes, ML350. Alright, you guys have a good day. Thank you for watching.